Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We hear that Starcraft soundtrack kick on in as we introduce these players. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, it is Jin Air Greenwing's Trap. Trap, one of the greatest Protoss players of all time. Probably my favorite Protoss player. He's definitely up there. And taking on Trap in the top right is Afrika Starcraft's 2 Armani. Armani is a Zerg player who's been on the up and up. He's been around a long time, but he just had his best tournament result ever. So he's playing at a very good level compared to what people would usually think of him, and he's posting some pretty good results. So yeah. Let's take a look here. We have got Trap just going for a normal gateway opening, pulling up that production tab. We see that Armani has gone for a very cheeky early spawning pool, and that means this game is going to heat up rather early. And ladies and gentlemen, if you can go ahead and hit that like button before this game does start really cooking off, that would be appreciated. Let's try and hit 50 likes on this video. If we can get to that number, that would be amazing. So go ahead and slap that like button. And of course, if you really do want to help out the video, go ahead and comment in the description down below. Let me know what your favorite unit that's in StarCraft and Brood War. There's your question, or just whatever. You can type gibberish. It doesn't matter. Please the YouTube algorithm gods is basically the goal. Now we take a look, we see these 6 lings going to be crossing the map for Armani. There's a couple more after that. And then we see some drones on the way behind that. So usual Zerg opening. Now Trappy's gone for a double gateway to get a solid wall off, but oh, his Zealot's actually getting surrounded here a little bit. The probes are there to help out, but looks like the Zealot may go down as the 2 reinforcing lings come on in. The probes try and hold the wall, but yeah, the Zealot doesn't hold the line long enough until the extra Zealot gets out. So now there's 2 or 4 lings in the main base of Trap, pardon me. And Armani's actually doing a good job microing these lings. He's microing both groups at the same time to get maximum efficiency. He's killed off 3 probes with this. And he's still got the 1 ling in Trap's main base. Now, that ling is on the way out. Trap probably will be able to start up his 3rd base soon, or his natural base soon, but it has been delayed. And, Armani behind this does have his hatchery done. He is going to have to make some lings because Trap is... Excuse me. As Trap is going to be pushing across the map with his Zealot and a couple of Adepts he had to make in response to this. So this does put counter damage on the Zerg, and this is making Armani make a lot of lings that he doesn't want to be producing. Looks like the Adept Shade on in. The Queen's going to try and zone them out as well as she can, deal some damage to them. Lings move to intercept the Adept Shade, but that is actually rather nice for Armani that he's or for Trap, that he's able to force out that bit of damage. At the same time, his Nexus is still just halfway done, so that's got quite a ways to go. It's really tough to say who's ahead in this situation, but I think this is more comfortable for Armani. Probably due to the fact that he got the 3 ling, or the 3 probes during that, so he's got himself a slight lead, I'll say. Alright, so for Trap, we've got a Dark Shrine on the way behind this to try and catch back up in the game. Unfortunately for him, Armani has already got an Overlord in scouting this, so the DTs won't be a surprise at all to his opponent, so I think Trap's going to have to go for a rather traditional Archon drop. Which I honestly don't mind. We also see Trap moves in with the 2 Adepts there. He's able to pick off a Creep Tumor. That's nicely done. Any bit of damage you get done to those is good. And, yeah, going for an Archon drop is always good against Zerg. I feel particularly in the hands of someone like Trap, who's a micro god with that Prism and with the Archons. Armani is still only on 2 bases, and he actually has to kill off that Creep Tumor. So he's able to ensure that that's going to be a full wall, or... Okay, he's going to build a spine in the wall, so he's I guess, worried about what's going to be coming his way. The spine is a little bit interesting. I guess he's really just going to try and hold on 2 bases against this Archon drop. But if we take a look, Trap's already got a 3rd base on the way. Armani has seen it, so he knows. So the fact that he's kind of locking himself in here and committing to a 2-base play is rather odd. The Protoss going up to 3 bases, the Zerg on 2. That's not usual. That's not necessarily great for the Zerg. So we'll see what Armani is going to do, if he's going to make a ton of Roaches and a Nidus maybe. Or what. When this lair is done, those 2 Adepts try and shade up, but they run into the Spine Crawler. Spine will reposition itself in order to help out against this harassment. The drone going to now move out towards the 3rd base, be able to take that. So Armani did have a later 3rd base, whereas Trapped is about to finish up. So the game is going in the lead for the Protoss player, I'll say. Interestingly enough, maybe I underestimated the lead that Trapped, or yeah, maybe I underestimated Trapped's position. Or Armani's just playing this out a little bit differently. He does have the 1-1 on the way, which is a pretty significant deal. I think he was spooked by the fact that he saw the Dark Shrine. So he is just making some Roaches, getting his 1-1 on the way, drones on the way. He's already made the Roaches that he has made, only 3, so not making any more just yet. So we'll see what he's going to do. Looks like the plan is to get out some drones. I guess he did realize that there was a 3rd done for the Protoss, so he says, okay, well, I really got to get my own economy going now. Seeing as how the Protoss has already got to finish 3rd, whereas my own 3rd isn't done yet. So that's really not a great spot for the Zerg player. And I think Trap has just naturally come into a lead the way this game is played out. I mean, Armani, he's making a few Roaches. He's going to have 1-1, but that's not really going to help him out a ton unless he just makes like a huge amount of Roaches and goes for an attack. Maybe he'll start up 2-2 right after this and then go for like a big 2-2 mass Roach timing attack. That could be a possibility. However, Trap could potentially have Dark Templar or have High Templar by then. We do see the +2 missile attack start for Armani. We'll see if he's going to start the Carapace right after that or not, and then if he will basically just start making Roaches and go for a big old timing attack. That seems like it's the most likely possibility from me, after seeing the way this game is playing out. But he does fire up 10 more drones. He does start up his +2 Carapace, so yeah, it looks like it will be that attack, the extra drones there to get the gases up, make lots of Ravagers and things like that. Trap, meanwhile, is just staying back at home, sending out hallucinated scouts. He's getting up extra batteries, anticipating this attack towards his 3rd base, so Trap is doing a good job anticipating that. And, yeah, it looks like he is already getting ready for that, so I mean, he can warp in Stalkers. He's already got 3 Immortals. He's getting up a cannon at his natural to, I guess, just bolster his defense. And Trap's been on a better economy than Armani for quite a while. The Zerg player has now thrown up a 4th base. He is throwing up an Infestation Pit, so maybe Armani's figuring that this attack isn't actually going to work for him, so he's just going to have to play the game out longer and go for a lead there, because right now we even see Trap pushing out on the map, going to maybe be bringing some of the pressure to Armani. Of course, Trap does have to be careful not to overextend. I mean, this is 1-1 Roach Ravager, which is no joke. With 2-2 on the way as well, Armani still could potentially just churn out a big swath of Roaches and just try and roll over Trap. So if Trap overcommits, that could open the door for a counterattack by Armani. For now, though, it looks like Trap is going to be the player getting really aggressive with his Blink Stalkers that he's going to control oh so well, with his Sentries as well that he'll be able to drop force fields and things like that. So we see Armani, he's now making some Zerglings. He's getting a Hive, a Hydra Den on the way, so a rather big commitment there, but Trap's going up to Disruptors behind this, which is a really powerful tool for the Protoss. Against Mass Roach, Disruptors will surely find some big connections. For now, though, we take a look. The 2-2 is almost finished up for Armani, so we'll see if he's going to be eyeing for an attack. Looks like Trap, though, just going to be moving out with his army once more on the map. Armani's got a good number of Lings with his force now, too, which is going to make it a little bit scarier. They'll close the distance, they'll buffer for this Roach Ravager. These Lings going to be moving across towards the third base location. There's a cannon on the way there, however. It is quite a few Lings. Armani is now pushing forward with tenacity. Going to come towards the fourth base. Going to be able to cancel that right away. Dropping Prosobalis on the army is helping zone out the Protoss force. All the while, these Lings hit the third base. However, Trap has warped in some Stalkers with the shield batteries. There's no way the Lings will get the damage done they need. And so Armani is going to go home. After canceling the fourth base, but not getting anything else done, I'd say that's not successful for the Zerg player. He needs to get something else done this game, and that's why I love to see the fact that he's getting out Vipers. Now, Vipers will turn this game into a proper dance, as if we take a look, I mean, there's a lot of Blink Stalkers for Trap, so he's going to be able to try and blink on top of those Vipers to counter them. It becomes more complicated, though, for the Protoss when the Zerg starts to add in Lurkers, because you can't blink on top of Lurkers, and then the Vipers can abduct Protoss units in, so it really, really complicates the spot for the Protoss player. Right now, we do see Trap looking to push on in towards Armani's base. Disruptors getting, Ravagers tossing down Crosabile. Looks like Armani is eyeing for a big surround. Looks like he's going to find 2 Disruptors out on the map. That's a big find. Looks like one of them will get a connection and kill off. Actually, oh god, that was so many deadlings. That was just a big pool of red. Roaches are moving in for a counterattack for Armani, but they're not going to find too much. Still, Armani is going to dive on top of this Protoss army. He abducts the Disruptors to disable, to cancel their Novas, and that's basically just going to mean that it's Roach Ravager against mainly Stalkers. This is 2-2 Zerg, so that's part of the reason why this fight went the way it did for Armani. I mean, if he didn't have the 2-2, this would have gone even worse for him. With all these Lings, I think he should be able to clean up this Protoss army to force Trap back. The Lings are getting a wraparound. Prosobalis is being dropped, hits some of the sentries. Trap, however, has warped in more Stalkers to reinforce. Armani's brought the Queens forward so he can transfuse, keep these units alive. He's got some of the Vipers coming forward too, but I'm not sure how helpful they'll be. And the Zerg force has really plummeted in supply. Armani's bleeding off units. As Trap pushes in further with his Stalkers, another Disruptor does get abducted, so at least he doesn't have to worry about that, but there's just so much Protoss coming forward right now. Armani, his 2-2 is making his army so much tankier, but there's just way more Protoss here. And gosh, that just did not work out well for Armani. A fairly straightforward attack for Trap is doing him work. A good abduct, a good harpoon on that Immortal brings it forward, reduces the firepower for the Protoss army, but we see the supply for the Protoss. The amount of Stalkers he has is just that critical amount, which is able to just trade efficiently against the Zerg composition. We see Armani loses his 4th base, while Trap has established his own. And that's going to put the Zerg in a very tough position. Armani, I think, will need to make some magic happen with Lurkers, with Vipers, if he's going to come back in this game, but he is in a rather tough position right now. We see a Ling counterattack is going to hit the 4th base of Trap. This is a good move. It's going to affect his mining, lower his probe count quite a bit, as Trap is now down to 60 probes, which isn't the healthiest margin in the world. We see Lings working away on the Zealots. They may win or lose that fight. With the shield battery finishing up, they will be fine. And we do see that Trap is still pushing in towards Armani. The supply for the Zerg player is just too low. Looks like the Lurkers will burrow, and there isn't actually an Observer here for Trap, I don't believe. So that's actually going to make it much harder for him to push in. He'll need some God-tier Disruptor hits to clean out all the burrowed units for the Zerg before he can push this further, or he'll just need to wait for Observers, which are only about 10 seconds out. So the Lurkers are holding for Armani for now. We do see Disruptors actually kill off one of the Lurkers, so there's just one left. That's going to make life a lot harder for the Zerg. Armani is holding on. He gets an abduct on the Colossus. That's a nice move, but the question is, what's he holding on for? He's still down a base compared to his opponent. Trap, with an excellent blink forward, does pick off one of those Lurkers. And oh my gosh, is Trap just going to go onto the main base? No, he's not. But still, yeah, really, really scary spot for Armani right now. I know Lurkers are one of the comeback units for Zerg. They're very supply efficient, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And Trap does actually elect to just blink inside the main base of the Zerg. A Lurker runs up the ramp, it gets picked off. A second Lurker gets picked off. The Lurker den itself could be compromised here. Armani's trying to fight up this ramp. A Viper pops out, it gets picked off. This is just going south for the Zerg player. He's still got the upgrade advantage, so he is going to try and force Trap away. I mean, the Stalkers themselves don't trade out too well against this Zerg force, but the numbers are still here for Trap. He's now going to push forward. He doesn't actually have an Observer with his army. There's the Observer. Now it's pulling back. Another disruptor hits some of the Zerg force. Armani is just barely hanging on this game. He's adding on more and more lurkers just to try and fight it out, to stay in this game. But he hasn't got any more counterattacks done to Trap. He's just been so focused on the defense. And with a 4th base just starting up for him now, he's got a long way to go to come back in this game. All right, can Armani hold on? Can he make a close hold happen? I'm unsure because we see Trap. He's swinging around to the left. He says, fine, I can't push in towards your 3rd, but I'll just make sure you're staying on 3 bases. Trap, though, now does have to back out. The 4th base of Armani is canceled, so he basically achieves his goal. And eventually, the game will just get to an unwinnable position for Armani if he is only on 3 bases. We take a look. He's pretty much mined out in his main base, which is still being harassed by Zealots' natural. Not looking much better, and even the 3rd is looking not great. So, yeah, really, really tough spot here for Armani. He's trying to re-secure up this 4th base once again, but it's just that endless game of whack-a-mole. Trap's just got to whack the moles, and then he's able to win the game. And a Morphing Hatchery does kind of look like a mole if you think about it. But, yeah, this is looking really, really good for Trap. I mean, he's got a 5th base about to finish up, compared to his Zerg, who can't even get up a 4th base. The lurkers are keeping Armani alive in this game, but eventually Trap will just be able to get up so much Psystorm, so many other units that it'll just go really, really well for him. We see the Vipers are abducting these Immortals, getting a good trade for Armani, but he's just got so little that isn't his lurkers that he's just going to lose everything. And Armani taps out. Trap fighting pretty much Armani's entire army with nothing but his Immortals. Really is a kick in the pants for Armani. And so GG gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Join the Discord, which is linked in the description down below. Subscribe to the channel and join the Bell Gang if you haven't. If you made it to the end of the video, do go ahead and subscribe. It helps out the channel. Consider becoming a member. And do go ahead and leave that comment for the YouTube algorithm gods. I'll see you guys next time. My name is LaughNgamez. Thanks so much for watching.